Bad Blood is over and Crown Jewel is the next PLE. But what do we think the match card is going to look like? I'm Brandon and this is Wrestling Talk. Okay, so after Bad Blood, we actually have a pretty good roadmap for how Crown Jewel might play out. Mainly because 2 of the matches are already confirmed, and those will be the men's and women's Crown Jewel Championship matches. Overall, I'm not really sold on this whole idea of the Crown Jewel Championship. Why? Because it feels pointless. I don't want to see any of our 4 champions losing in a non-title match, because whoever loses, whether it be a clean victory or due to interference, is gonna come out looking like the inferior champion, and I don't like that. I also feel like it gets in the way of current storylines. Coming off of Bad Blood, I want to see Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. That's where the story's going, that's where all the drama is. So Cody having to take a pit stop to face Gunther for a title that doesn't really mean anything, because it won't be defended at any PLE other than Crown Jewel, just feels like a very pointless pit stop. Same goes for Liv Morgan and Nia Jax. Coming off of the Rhea Ripley feud, I want to see Liv Morgan defend her title against other women on Raw. We're talking Zelina Vega, Lyra Valkyria, Io Sky. So to go from this feud with Rhea Ripley right into a non-title match against another heel, again, just feels like a pointless pit stop. It reminds me of when Hell in a Cell went from a gimmick match to the actual title of a PLE, meaning that once a year we knew Hell in a Cell was coming around, so we had to scramble to put together some Hell in a Cell matches. I get that vibe with this Crown Jewel Championship where once a year we have to have our 2 champions fight for the Crown Jewel Championship, so any stories that are currently going on have to be put on pause so we can have our 2 champions have this kind of pointless match. They used to do this at Survivor Series when they would have the WWE champion go against the Universal champion, and I didn't like it then. I don't like seeing champions lose to other champions. When it comes to Cody versus Gunther is absolutely winning. No way is your dominant heel champion taking a loss, especially to Cody Rhodes, who's already lost a few times this year. Solo Sikoa pinned him at Money in the Bank, Rock pinned him at WrestleMania. I believe he took a pin to Drew McIntyre on an episode of Raw, whereas Gunther only lost at WrestleMania. So to me, I think it's just going to be a wonky finish where Kevin Owens interferes, costs Cody the victory, and then that'll be the match for Survivor Series. When it comes to Liv versus Nia, I think Nia will probably win, and I don't think Tiffany's going to cash in at Crown Jewel. I think WWE really likes what Nia's doing right now, and myself included, and I think they want to keep that momentum going. But what are some of the other matches I think we're going to see on the card? Well, Crown Jewel in the past has been a 7-match card, and even though WWE seems to be doing this 5-match card for smaller PLEs thing, I'm actually going to go ahead and book 7, because I do think that we might get that. Starting off with Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Coming off of Bad Blood, this is obvious. The Liv versus Rhea feud was kind of getting old. You needed to throw a wrench into it, and I think Raquel is that wrench. She's the muscle to Liv's brains, and she can be the perfect person that holds off Rhea Ripley for a little bit and prevents her from getting another title shot. To be honest, I don't see Rhea getting another title shot for a few PLEs. Maybe even till WrestleMania. They had a match already at Payback last year, but it didn't quite work because Raquel was still a good guy at the time, and moreover, she was a good guy without a character. She was just smiling babyface. And because of that, she couldn't connect with the crowd. Rhea Ripley was a heel who the crowd loved, so the match just didn't really gel. However, now, Rhea Ripley is a babyface that the crowd loves, and Raquel can finally sink her teeth into a heel character. So I actually have really high expectations for this match, and I think Raquel has to win. Probably clean too. Rhea Ripley has been a dominant champion for the past year or 2, and both of her losses to Liv Morgan were wonky and they protected her. So I think losing clean to Raquel is perfectly fine in terms of Rhea Ripley's momentum, as long as she beats Raquel clean in match 2 or 3. Moving on to another match, I think we're probably going to get round 2 of Damian versus Finn. Like Drew versus Punk or probably Rhea versus Liv, I think Damian versus Finn is going to be a trilogy feud. And I think round 2 is probably going to come at Crown Jewel, where Finn will obviously get the victory. This match could not be on the card though, because WWE might want to spread out the matches between them. Maybe have round 2 happen at Saturday night's main event and then round 3 at WrestleMania. But given how fast this feud is moving right now between the Terror Twins and the Judgment Day, I think round 2 is going to be a Crown Jewel. A 5th match I think we're definitely going to see, Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. Originally, I thought this would be the match for Bad Bad Blood, but now that the tag match is out of the way, I think this is the next match for Roman Reigns. I don't think Roman and Jimmy versus Solo and Jacob is the move. That's a bit redundant of what we've already seen. So yeah, this is the next obvious choice. Roman versus Solo for head of the table. And honestly, Solo wins because he has 3 people on his side, maybe 4, and Roman only has 1. And this victory has to happen too because you need to set up old bloodline versus new bloodline for War Games, and you can't do that with Roman winning here, especially since he already won at Bad Blood. So Solo for the win, but this match is definitely going to happen, I think. Another match I think we're going to get is Bianca and Jade versus Io and Kairi for the women's tag team titles. WWE hasn't really seemed to care about the men's tag team titles this year post WrestleMania, but they have put a little bit of focus on the women's tag team titles. They've been a part of some of the major PLEs: Backlash, Clash at the Castle, and Bash at Berlin. I think Crown Jewel will be the next one, and from an in-ring standpoint, I think this will probably be the best one, because Kairi and especially Io are on fire lately. But I don't think Io and Kairi are gonna win. I do think Bianca and Jade will retain, mainly because they just got the titles back. However, at Survivor Series or Saturday night's main event, I do think those are the 2 places where they'll probably lose, and then Jade will turn heel on Bianca. That will kickstart their feud for WrestleMania. But for now, I think Bianca and Jade will win. I see some people saying that Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed might happen at Crown Jewel. I think it's going to happen before then on an episode of Raw. However, I do think the IC title is going to be on Crown Jewel. I think Jey Uso needs to be on this PLE so he can be in the same space as the Bloodline when Roman versus Solo is going down. So I think you will see Jey Uso defend the IC title against someone at Crown Jewel. My guess right now is honestly Bronson Reed. However, assuming he's still wrapped up with Seth Rollins, then I think you can look at any of the other mid-carders on Monday Night Raw. And then the last potential match I think we're going to see is LA Knight defending the US title against someone. I think the triple threat between him, Andrade, and Carmelo will have happened by that point. So I do think you could get a rematch against Logan Paul. Logan Paul has been a part of the past 2 Crown Jewels, so it makes sense that he'll be a part of this one too. And it could just be a simple rematch against LA Knight for the US title, and then he'll lose. That's it. Those are the 7 matches I think we're going to see at Crown Jewel. What do you think? Comment below, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.